Hello and welcome to Grumpy Old Men. I am, of course, joined as ever by Mike and Kev. But, gents, before we start, let's pay a little tribute to the great James Whale, who appeared here on Grumpy Old Men with us once.
If I was on a train and there was a woman who needed a seat, I would offer my seat to her. She might tell me I'm a sexist pig, but I'd still do it. And I would, of course, it wouldn't matter whether it was a woman or a man. If I went through a door and there was somebody behind me, I'd keep it open for them. But I'm just getting fed up with the amount of rudeness in this society in which we're living by these people who... And another problem, I'm going to throw it in here, is people who can't eat properly. People who use knives and forks the wrong way. If you want to use a fork to eat, go to bloody America.
Beautiful. Gone, but not
He was
forgotten.
a natural for this show, wasn't he?
He was properly grumpy to the core.
Very grumpy, yeah.
Anyway, Mike, in your dreams...
Yes. Yeah, well, dreams, how annoying are they, right? Because...
What do you mean?
Well, they're just annoying.
Dreams make him grumpy.
Some people can't survive without their dreams.
They
Mike.
can be annoying, can't they?
They can be annoying because if you have a really good dream, you can't remember it, right?
True.
At least I can't. I struggle to remember my dreams.
Do you just wake up slightly damp?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Most people
Not
struggle to
necessarily. That's just in the hot weather.
Okay.
But no, I had a dream the other week that my car was stolen. Which was quite traumatic.
The car.
It was traumatic, honestly.
I'm traumatised for you.
Because normally speaking, if I have quite a nice dream, I'll kind of wake up and remember it for about 2 nanoseconds, then I'll immediately forget it. But this particular one stayed with me the whole day. Because not only...
Well, it's a nightmare then, isn't it?
It is a nightmare.
Well, I don't know. Isn't a nightmare one that you wake up screaming from?
Well, not necessarily.
Not necessarily,
Were you in a state of anxiety, chasing around trying to find it?
No.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay.
But it was literally just... bizarrely, it was stolen from my parents' old street. I don't know what significance that has, but it was parts of my parents' old street in North London. And I went to get it, and it was gone, and it wasn't there. And I just remember feeling like a real sense of loss, that I'd lost my car. And I didn't know what to do about it.
I mean,
but it was horrible.
But that's a nightmare. That's not a dream. I mean, I've got to be... I'm trying to clear this up for you, Mike.
No, but I kept thinking about it during the day as well, even though I knew the car hadn't been stolen.
Well, a nightmare stays with you.
Does it?
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, I've also had that thing where you wake up screaming.
Yeah. But I think what you've got there...
I think when it comes to you, Mike, that's something particular to you and maybe your listeners.
Yeah, no, but listen, it's only happened about once or twice, I think, in my life. But you know, I've had some kind of nightmare. You know, you have those kind of murder nightmares or something like that. That's what I would call a nightmare.
That's a full-on.
Full on. And you wake up and you kind of go, no! And then you're sitting up, right?
My wife can make some very strange noises when asleep.
Can she?
Yes.
Yeah. When you're asleep or...
No, just asleep.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
like sort of wailing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she can wail.
I mean, I
in
talk
her
in my sleep, apparently, all the time.
Yeah, no, I swear in my sleep.
I used to fire people in my sleep. When I worked for newspapers, I fired my own daughter once.
Okay.
When she was
in your sleep?
Yeah. And she was only about 8 and she came... I was in America.
Yeah, you're sort of like Alan Sugar when you're asleep.
Yeah, I was in America.
Sorry, Lord Sugar.
And it was during a difficult time when we were getting divorced or we'd split up or something. And I used to get my kids, for the long weekend or whatever it was, a week or two in the spring, a couple of weeks in the summer. And she came upstairs to see if I was all right. And apparently I started swearing at her and calling her all sorts of names. And she ran downstairs to get my sister and she said, oh, don't worry, he does it all the time. And then they came up and had a good laugh, watching me and talking to me and having a conversation with me.
When you say
asleep, are you sure you're just not passed out? I mean, when does angry sleeping Mike come out?
I don't do it anymore. Since I left newspapers, I'm much more relaxed about, my talking in my sleep. I don't fire people anymore.
I get anxiety dreams all the time, which are like I've got to get to work, I've got to be on air.
Well, because you're worried you're going to be late.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't transfer into real life.
It happens in real life.
You're always late.
But in anxiety dreams, you're trying to get to here at London Bridge, and you get further and further and further away.
Like the
and you end
parallax
up like
view.
Screaming, going, why can't I find it? And that, you wake up and it's a tremendous relief. So it is a kind of a nightmare.
Well, something else that is a nightmare, Kev, builders.
I'm going to talk about my builder. I've got one in at the moment. I'm
Is that
hoping he
wise,
won't
Kev?
see. He's probably turned out to be the biggest fan of this show. I hope he isn't. So he's been coming off and on for about 3 weeks now, replastering the back because the house is leaking. It's got flat roofs and all that. And I don't know if you've had builders. They're the same as car mechanics. Every time you take your car into the garage, the mechanic will go, I don't know who did this carburettor last time, but they've made a real mess of it. So builders are the same. Oh, well, whoever did that, they used the wrong grouting. No wonder it's leaking. So this guy, he comes about 2 weeks ago. He goes, well, I'm not. He's sort of Turkish by origin, so I won't.
Let's not do the accent.
I won't do the accent. But he says, yeah, well, your trouble is the grouting they used. When was this done? I said about a year ago. Because the grouting, it's all wrong. He said it's indoor grouting. They should have used. Outdoor grouting.
Well,
So,
only a year ago.
yeah. So I said to him,
right.
I said to him, what you mean is you should have used outside grouting. You did that job. And he goes, well, when I say that, it's not that. It's the previous grouting before that. Have you noticed it? The builders always blame their predecessors.
There is a modern day version of this as well.
Yeah.
People who build websites.
Ah.
So I've had to, a couple of businesses, build websites, and the first person who builds it, invariably you will fall out with them.
Yeah. And they'll charge you too much money.
And they'll charge you too much money. Then someone else comes in and goes,
Oh, I don't know who did that.
I don't know what they were thinking with the coding on
it's
this
always
one.
the same, isn't it? Always
Same with the plumber, though. Who the hell put these pipes in like this?
exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why'd they wire your house like this? It's
Yeah.
like, is there not a standard, people,
Right.
that you all have to keep to?
It's
And
like the
also-
craftsman's code.
Shouldn't they also-
It's always the last guy was crap.
Shouldn't they also be kind of, loyal to each other as opposed to
No, they're
chucking
not,
each other under the
though.
bus
No.
all the time,
Yeah.
They're
Just throw the
incredibly
last guy under
disloyal
the
to
Yeah.
each other.
I was there was that team of builders that you used to see driving around, and it was AJ Singh and Sons.
Right.
You've tried the Cowboys, now try the Indians, which I always thought was
That's
a great
quite good.
That's
strapline.
quite good. That is good.
I do like that.
But the thing is, though, along the way, while blaming his predecessors, like all builders as well, this is all part of their credo as well. He charges me an absolute fortune.
Of course he does.
Massive
But that's-
amounts of money.
And presumably nothing like the original estimate.
No, it goes well over that.
Well, you changed your mind, did I?
Right.
I mean, I in the past have had, and I'm not a man who's prone to violence. I'd like to say that, but I have. When
You've attacked your builder.
I've physically attacked a builder. Yes.
It can be very infuriating.
Well, when they come in and go, it's a 12-week job, and 11 months later
Yeah.
they're still
Oh,
there.
God.
Yeah.
You'll kind of. I did get,
Well, I
get
had a
him
bit
by
of
the
that when I
throat
had
and just
my-
go. Just give me a finish date.
Yeah, I had that when I had my flat redecorated, which completely redesigned. I mean, luckily I was just renting it, so it didn't matter. But I mean,
It wasn't yours.
they were supposed to be fixing it up while I was on holiday for 2 weeks. It took about 2.5 months.
That's
and they put
nothing.
Me up,
I remember that.
That's
You were living
nothing
across
for
the
a
road
living
in a
room.
They put me up in London Bridge Hotel for the duration.
Strangely, you preferred.
I actually did, 'cause
especially
it
whilst
was-
shouting and swearing at people and
not only
waking
that,
up in your
because
own
it was
way.
one of the very hot summers of, I think it was 2023.
So you had AC, yeah?
So I had air conditioning,
Nice.
and my walk to work was 45 seconds. I rather
Ideal.
like that.
Ideal.
I don't know why you moved back in.
I had to go back into the flat. You wouldn't keep paying for the hotel.
They talk in riddles as well. They use terminology you don't. I've got the grouting and the rendering, and you're going.
Mechanics do that as well, don't they?
Yeah. You know, no
Your big
idea what's
end's
going
gone.
on.
They always assume because you're a bloke that you know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Because you know all about B&Q, and you know all about Wicks, the builders merchants, and you know all about screws and roll plugs. and I don't know anything
I'm
about
sorry.
any of that.
Do I?
No, this is
Absolute
not
rubbish.
I
particular.
can't even
to this.
change a plug.
No.
But lawyers do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you've got an MJ17 there.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Right.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
Could you assume, which won't be much of a stretch, that I'm an idiot,
Right.
and tell me like a human?
Right.
But
exactly
they don't want
what it
to.
is you're going to do. No, they like to keep the mystique, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They do
I've
like that.
studied or trained for many years, so therefore I'm going to keep a kind of professional aloofness
Yes.
and arrogance
But the
about
mystique
what
is
I'm
to
doing.
con you. The
Yeah.
mystique
Yeah.
is to
Yeah.
con you
The
for,
mystique
into
is to
paying
make
more
the
money.
mistake of hiring.
Well, I hope that Kev's Builder doesn't watch this show, because he's going to put a great big hole somewhere in your house. Anyway, making GP appointments. I want to talk about this.
Oh.
the lovely Susan, who is my long-suffering wife,
Yeah.
had an extraordinary experience this week
Right.
at our local GP surgery. She was in seeing the nurse.
Right.
And while she was there, she thought, oh, I need to come and see the doctor. I'll make an appointment.
Yep.
So she walked up to the reception, you know, where there's people
where there are
sitting
people,
there.
yes. I know what you're going to say.
No, you can't. You have to do it online.
Of course you do.
You have to do it on. But I'm here.
Yeah.
She goes, no, I can't do that here.
Yeah.
You have to do it online. So my wife, who was waiting for the nurse, then went and sat down.
Yeah.
And went online, right? And made the appointment.
Actually, that's while sitting there
While
on the
sitting
phone,
there.
yeah.
The woman then rang her from over there because it came through on that. She went, hi, we've got an appointment this afternoon at 4:45. She's like, seriously? I'm here. She went, oh, it's you. Yes, it's me. Of course it's me. And why is
Jeez,
it...
what is wrong with people? What's wrong with them?
But what is wrong with the system? People wonder why the system's broken or why it's so difficult.
NHS,
It's
right.
like,
It's the
and what
NHS.
do you do if you don't have a smartphone and you don't really understand how that tech works?
Right.
Do you just never go to the doctor
No.
again?
Well, this is the problem because they've got this online system now. Because I get people telling me about this kind of thing all the time, all through every single week. Because whenever I get the latest lie of the week from Keir Starmer, he's now got up to something like 8 million appointments they've made now, apparently.
Have
Yeah, they
they?
keep making them, but nobody actually gets to go anywhere because they keep cancelling them as well. So I always get people saying, oh, yeah, I've had this appointment, I've had that appointment. I tried to get an appointment, but they told me I had to ring up at 8 o'clock in the morning, which they're supposed to have stopped altogether. But if you don't ring up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can't get one. I'm surprised she even had one.
Well, the whole point was, it's like there was no way on earth you could do it any other way than through the portal.
Yes.
Computer says no.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's what it is.
And she did it there, and there was one immediately available, got the phone call straight away, and then in the end wandered over with the phone and just leant on the counter and just to make the point, talk to the woman. He's like...
That's embarrassing, isn't it? That's so ridiculous.
But it was like I was listening to your show this week, and there was that guy talking about the problem with people not coming in for appointments.
Yes.
Like people are too lazy to come in for appointments.
Right.
Now it's like I've got a headache, can you send me
just
some
send me
pills?
some pills.
Do you mind coming in? You might have a brain tumour.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
it's the Uberization of society, as he was saying. It's that everybody now thinks they can just order everything in at home. You don't have to go out, you don't even have to go and do any grocery shopping. Just buy everything and some bloke will deliver it to you on a bike who's here from Ethiopia. Illegally, probably.
Probably, allegedly.
Yeah, very possibly.
Did you listen to anything on Mike's show this week, Kev?
I've listened to a lot on Mike's show. I listen to it every morning. What do you want me to say? It's very, very good.
I was trying to catch you out there, Mike, but you're too...
I know exactly who said that about the Uberization of society. It was Lawrence Gerler.
It was. Lawrence Gerler is very good.
No, but it is an interesting point that you kind of... It's all been technologicalified.
Yes.
Well, to a point where it doesn't work.
I had the same problem with my phone when it got nicked, and the guy who was
Did your
across the
phone get
street-
nicked?
It did.
Was it around...
It was around September time, I think, of last year.
I think you mentioned that.
And actually, there's quite an annoying thing that's happened. I'll do that another time because I now have 2 phone lines on my one phone, which is really ridiculous. Anyway, no, but when it got nicked, there was a police van across the street, and the guy wound his window down, and I went over to talk to him, and I said, "He's gone that way," and he went, "Oh, I can't chase him." And I went, "Why is that?" He went, "Because there's a big curb there, because there is a big curb. He couldn't get over it in his van." And he said, "Best thing for you to do is report it online." And I went, well, can't I report it to you? Oh, no, it's better to do it online.
Didn't he say to you, that happened to me the other week?
He said that. Yeah, he had his own phone stolen. I mean, what a plank.
Parking at petrol stations.
Yes. Well, this is a real problem.
It's not a form of dogging, is it?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Not where I am, anyway. But what I do find is that since the advent of the petrol station as a mini supermarket, lots of people go to petrol stations. Yeah, a lot of people go to petrol stations now to buy things, but not petrol, right? I mean, it used to be that you bought cigarettes or you bought chewing gum or maybe chocolate.
Maybe.
Now there's people coming out with flowers, cabbages.
Well, you get all your groceries.
Dinner, pizzas. But the thing that I've noticed lately, certainly down in parts of Sussex where I put my petrol in my car, is people will drive in and they've got parking spots, right? around. You can go around the back, and they've got a few spots there. They've got a few to the side.
Yeah.
But these people come in and park at the pump.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And they get out of the car, and they're not getting any petrol, and they're going into the shop. And I know this because I sat behind one.
That is annoying.
There should be someone with a kind of electric cattle prod to police that.
Yeah, she'd go in, and also, and if you're not actually putting any petrol in the car, would you mind moving the car away from the pump or something?
But that thing of like, if you are of human mind, right, you would, even if you were getting petrol, you'd put the petrol in your car, and then you'd move it to the park. If you thought you were going to be in there
nobody does
longer than
nobody does that.
It takes to pay for the petrol.
I think that would be the right thing to do, because even if people are going in and not buying anything else, but they're going in to pay for the petrol, they should definitely move the car, because otherwise you're all sitting there waiting for years.
You know,
collectively,
my dear departed father hated petrol stations.
Did he?
To such a degree that he would regularly run out of petrol. He just wouldn't go. And you get the call
What
going,
did he specifically hate about them?
just kind of the whole thing. He found it all a faff. He didn't like it. It's why he didn't wear lace-up shoes.
Yeah.
Didn't like them.
No,
But,
I don't
but
wear
with your old man, that kind of everyday requirement, going to things like petrol stations, that must have been an additional pain in the arse.
Yeah, well, I suppose
of the
thing was like,
it's
you know,
you.
hello,
Can you sign
what
this? And can you...
Unleaded.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know, but he would regularly run out of petrol.
Isn't it funny when you go to one of these countries where they have an assisted petrol pump?
Love that.
Do you like that?
In Spain.
I used to have it in America
fill her up.
quite a lot. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been over there for a little while. But it was always a bit weird, wasn't it? When somebody suddenly appears.
Yeah.
And you
like the
just think,
shopkeeper in Mr. Ben.
Goodness me. What do you mean? You ought to put petrol in my car.
Have you ever done a fly drive in Florida? Right?
Yes.
So
I've driven in Florida.
At August, they have love bug season.
Oh, yeah.
So it's these bugs that their arses join together and they fly in massive swarms and they go all over the cars. And they have a free service at petrol stations.
To what?
To get off the windscreen.
Flamethrower.
Because people's windscreens get so jammed up they crash.
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, in Miami.
The other problem you get is you can get carjacked as well if you come out the wrong airport.
Yeah, no, there is that.
Seen in Miami, near the Everglades around there, they have these trucks with huge nets.
Yes.
They just drive around catching all the mosquitoes, and then every now and again they shut them, and then they go up again, and they just fill these trucks with the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Lack of clothes in shops, Kev.
Yeah, well,
I mean, sorry.
What sort of shop?
What sort of shops?
Yeah.
clothes shops. The problem there's a lack of clothes in clothes shops, and it's really getting on my nerves.
Well, I mean, as a man who doesn't really deviate from one look, I find this.
I like shopping for clothes, but there's no point in doing it anymore.
He spends a lot of money on his clothes.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. I know. But he's always got a lovely suit. You go to the good shops like the Cooples, Paul Smith, Ralph Lauren, all of those shops. I particularly like going to Ralph Lauren, but there's hardly anything in them anymore. And the reason is all their clothes are online.
Yes.
So if you want to get a good suit, if you want to get the latest trousers or whatever,
Do you know where they do have
you've got to
big
go online.
stock?
You go to the shop, and it reminds me of when you go to a restaurant, particularly in India or a Chinese restaurant, and you sit down to have dinner, and you soon realise that you are taking second place to all the takeaways.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on this table and there's a complete line of motorcycle guys coming up and pick. So when you go shopping for clothes now, you're taking second place to everyone who's buying this stuff online. So shops, brands prioritise online. So in the shops, there's nothing.
Well, I mean, Georgia Asda is always very well stocked, Kev, as opposed to Ralph Lauren.
I thought you were going to say it's because people keep nicking it and shoplifting, because that might be the other reason.
That could be the case. I would say that isn't the case in clothes shops because there's not much to
So
nick.
have you found that there's just not much to try on, or that you want something in your size and they haven't got it?
Yeah, it's very sparsely stocked.
Right.
So in the old days, you could always, I've got quite a handy shape. I'm fairly
Svelte.
I can buy clothes. I always used to be able to buy clothes in shops, no problem at all. Now I can't. Because the only things that are there are like kind of trousers that are like that wide or that wide, So it's really annoying, I think.
But also that thing of the whole online shopping thing. I like to go in, especially if I'm going to spend a decent amount of money on something. I want to touch it,
try
and feel
on.
it, try it on, see. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
And then I don't know about you, But when you're with someone a long time, you can't really buy anything without them checking it.
I've never been with anyone that long.
That's true. Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't-
I
I
send a
can't- I
picture.
can't have
I
that.
send a picture of myself
Do you?
in it from the changing
Yeah.
room to my wife.
See,
going,
no,
I don't need
I've never
female
had,
affirmation.
I've never
I
had
definitely
that.
don't
No.
need
I've never had that. No, definitely not.
I make my own
I'm alone in
decisions.
that. Maybe
All
that
of them
accounts
wrong.
for why I look like this. Anyway,
Actually,
I wanna-
you should send more of your pictures to your wife.
sod off, kid.
Send that one.
Didn't send that.
Send this one then.
No, we do have a thing,
Yeah.
my wife and I,
Yeah.
which is I will get dressed in the morning, I will walk into the living room, and I will say to her,
What do you reckon?
C or not a C,
Right.
and she will look at me and go, massive C.
But when your wife or
See,
your
as in
girlfriend,
good.
And no, as in
Bad.
see you next Tuesday.
Oh, sorry.
but when your wife or your girlfriend goes, so what? Shall I wear this tonight?
Yeah, you can't go there.
What you have to go? Yeah, that's great. But what you're thinking is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. That's why we're happy together, Kev.
yeah.
Anyway,
be in trouble when this show
matcha tea.
comes
Oh,
out.
yes.
Matcha tea.
I've started seeing more of this stuff.
Now, I have an issue with this.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it exactly?
So it's ground up green tea, right?
Yeah.
Now everyone goes, oh, it's Japanese. Originally Chinese. All right. I'm not going to labour the point, but everyone goes, oh, it's such a unique flavour. It tastes like a mixture of pond water and fish food.
Ugh.
It's revolting.
Yeah, I've
People
never
go,
tried it.
oh, it's sort of grassy vegetal notes and with a sweetness. I can know sweetness. There's sweetness if you bung a load of smoothie crap in with it.
Do you have it hot or cold?
You can have it any way you like and take endless pictures of it and put it up on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's purely, I think, grown in stature because it is Instagrammable. In other words, they take a picture of like, I'm having a green drink.
But is it? Does it have properties? You know, that are good for you?
Well,
It probably does.
well,
doesn't it?
I mean-
but actually, it
green
won't.
tea does.
No.
Yeah, but I don't believe it is.
When
good.
you
My
read
mother
about
used to
it,
drink a lot
when
of
you
green
read
tea.
about it, they say known for its unique flavour. In other words,
That's crap.
awful,
Yeah.
crap.
right?
Right.
And,
Rubbish.
and perceived health benefits. In other words,
No health
No,
benefits. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and who's
this-
selling this rubbish? Because I keep
And
seeing, I walk
anywhere
past,
and everywhere. I mean, it's
walk past
complete sort
in
of
Oxford
fad.
Street. Whenever I'm in Oxford Street, you walk past almost every kind of, drinks outlet has
Yeah.
got a big sign saying they've got matcha something or other.
There's a new one that's cropped up where they have their sort of matcha bar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's people with, because you've got a whiskey.
Do they do
seemingly
matcha
with
of the day?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But,
That's not bad.
but you've got a
Yeah, they
whiskey
should have
with
that.
this sort of that weird Japanese bamboo brush.
Oh, God.
So what they've done is they've just connected them to what look like electric toothbrushes.
Right.
And they're there sort of
Right. So does that make
making
them
up
frothy?
vats. Yeah, making up vats of
Frothy.
this stuff.
Is it like bubble tea? I see that everywhere as well.
No, bubble tea is revolting.
Is it?
That's like some amniotic fluid.
It's like somebody's blown into it. You know when you were a kid?
yeah.
You used to blow into the milk and make
Well,
it
no,
bubble.
it's not that. So bubble tea has the sort of lumps of tapioca in it. So
Oh.
halfway
Yeah.
through, you get a
Oh,
lump
God.
of something. It's like
Well, like
what's
frog
wrong with you?
spawn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like drinking tadpoles.
But you get that in restaurants now, don't you? Those
Bubble tea.
well, no, those
I see these bars.
bubble burst of
I
flavour.
see all these bars with bubble tea.
It's not for me. If I go into one of the, I just want a coffee.
Yeah.
Can I have a coffee, please? Well, that is all for this week. My thanks, of course, as ever, to Mike and Kev for bringing grumpiness in great measure. We'll see you this time next week. We'll probably still be grumpy.